I'm here in Smethwick in Birmingham. Smethwick, Birmingham 67. In 1964, the Conservative MP Peter Griffiths won this seat on the basis of the most shameful slogan ever issued in any British election. It has entered the halls of infamy. "If you want a nigger for a neighbour," said Griffiths, "vote Labour." The people elected him in 1964, and the Labour Prime Minister, Harold Wilson, called on the parliamentary colleagues to shun him as a parliamentary leper, which they did. 1 year later, in 1965, the great Malcolm X, one of the greatest men of our age, came here to this very street in this very parliamentary constituency to highlight the cause of the minority populations here against segregated housing, against institutionalized racial discrimination. And this blue plaque here is a symbol of his visit. International civil rights campaigner Malcolm X visited here shortly, actually, before he himself was assassinated. In 1966, my late and great friend Andrew Faulds won this constituency back for the Labour Party. Who was Andrew Faulds? He wasn't just a great Shakespearean actor who trod the boards playing all the great roles in Shakespeare's canon. He was Flash Gordon on the television. He even starred in the Hollywood epics Jason and the Golden Fleece, Jason and the Argonauts. But that wasn't the end of Andrew Faulds' contribution. Andrew Faulds was for years the prominent, the preeminent, and sometimes the only supporter of the Palestinian people in the British Parliament. In the 1960s, when everyone was mad for Israel, Andrew Faulds stood for the Palestinian people and for the anti-colonial cause everywhere. He was a big friend of the freedom movement in southern Africa too. I grew to know and love Andrew Faulds, and I sat beside him in Parliament for many years. I even helped give the obituary at his funeral. He was a prince amongst men, not because he had gold, silver, and riches, for those he had none, but because he had something much more valuable, much more of a treasure. He had a clean heart and a clean conscience. And he's the one who actually coined the slogan, "No justice, no peace." If there's no justice for the Palestinian people, he said, there will be no peace for those who took their land and who drove them from their country to the four corners of the earth. So this is a trip down memory lane for me. Marshall Street, where the great Malcolm X spoke, and the place that my dear friend Andrew Faulds took from the racist Conservative Party of the 1960s. Something tells me, you know, if the Conservatives had to stoop that low again to win, they might.